For the questions you were asked as part of example 3, you were doing a comparison between a piecewise function and a linear function in order to interpret which would be a better tax rate depending on your situation. So you have two different forms of taxes being applied. You have a graduated tax function, which basically works as you're getting 10% on the first $30,000 of income and then 20% on any income in excess of 30,000. So you're going to spend this 10% regardless, and then it's only 20,000 on anything over that. So if it's 35,000, it's 10% on the first 30,000 and 20% on the 5,000 that's after that. That's what they're telling here. And then you have a flat tax of 15% on all residents, and they're going to make comparisons between the two. So the first you were asked to do is to complete the piecewise function, where g of x represents the graduated tax function for an income of x. Well, if you're $30,000 or less, your tax is just going to be 10% of your income. So 0.10 times x. So that's not a big deal. It's when you start earning over 30,000 that you're going to have 20% applied to anything over 30,000. So that has to be working a little bit differently here. So how that would work is that you're going to spend 10% on the first 30,000. So that's going to happen. And then it's going to be 20% on anything over. So if you want to find how much you're over 30,000, you're going to take your income minus 30,000. It wouldn't work if you were under 30,000 because this would be negative. And so that's why you're following this formula here in that instance. And so to simplify this a little bit, although you could pretty much write it like this if you wanted to, you would have 3,000 plus 0.2x minus 6,000, which is 0.2x minus 3,000. So that's the expression that goes here for the second portion, and that would be the piecewise function that represents the graduated tax function for income x. As far as f of x, which would be the flat tax rate, doesn't matter what x is, you're just going to spend 15%, so it's going to be 0.15x. So that comes to be part 3 is to, well, which one is better? Well, it really depends on what your income is. Because if you compare the two, and you wanted to graph this, so graphing this and setting it up where x is representing the income, y is representing the tax, you have 0.1x for values that are $30,000 or less. So you would plot that part right here. And then after that, it's 0.2x minus 3,000. So you'd follow this right here. Whereas if you're doing f of x equals 0.15x, that's what the graph would look like. And these can be graphed on a calculator, although it's a little bit more work to do it on this, to get it on a calculator. There's even graphing features on computers. You could actually do this a lot more easily done on. But you can see here at $60,000, you're going to pay the same tax regardless of which one it is. So if you're getting $60,000 per year, doesn't matter which one it is. You're going to spend the same tax either way. But you can see a clear difference when you're before that and after that. Before that, the red graph, which is your graduated tax, is favoring those who have lower incomes. So the lower income people are getting lower taxes, whereas the people who are higher incomes are getting higher taxes. And likewise, the straight line, well, people are paying higher taxes at earning less income than they would if we were doing the graduated version. And the people who are earning higher incomes are paying less than they would if they were doing the graduated. That's why when you see some tax debates out there, usually you have those who have higher incomes want a flat tax rate rather than a graduated rate, because as you can see, and it's showed here, because here at $60,000, you're spending $9,000 in tax regardless of which one you have. The graduated tax favors residents that have less than $60,000 of income. So if you have a lower income, you want the graduated tax because you're going to pay less overall than you would with a flat tax. Whereas the flat tax, it's going to favor those who earn greater than 60,000, because if they're going with the graduated tax system, they're going to be paying more in taxes than they would a flat tax rate. So basically, the people who have lower incomes are bearing more of the burden of the taxes than those with the upper incomes on a flat tax rate. And so that is the end of this problem, and that is the end of this video. If you have any additional questions, please make sure to bring them up in class.